broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Was the son of a preacher man, the only boy who could ever teach me.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Impastor AfterShow on AfterBuzz TV. We are talking about Season 1, Episode 10, otherwise known as the finale, called Exodus. I'm your host, Jennifer Golden, and cheers to you guys for watching this entire season, and cheers to my co-host to my left.
Yes, James Lott Jr.
Hi, Lauren Leonelli. Cheers.
Cheers, and cheers to James for sponsoring this tonight's episode with a bottle of Moe and Chandon.
Yeah, Sandong.
Hey, Moe.
Oh, hey, Moe.
Oh, I like that. Oh, hey, Moe.
So, guys, it's been an incredible season.
That it has.
Yes, it has.
We now know there's a season 2, so we get to rejoice in that information.
Woo.
Holla at your girls and James.
Right. James. Same difference. Yes.
So this episode obviously cleared up a lot of loose ends, but also left us with a big cliffhanger.
Yes.
Very big cliffhanger, guys.
Yes. I
Which
agree.
we will get to our predictions. Don't you fret.
Don't worry. We know
Kind
the season
friends.
2 now. We know the season 2, so
Right.
we're going to talk. We have predictions.
We're
Yes.
thrilled about that because you know
Yes, we
what?
are.
Not every new show has a second season, but
No.
this one's so good, and you keep watching us because you know it's so good. We come back every week because we know it's so good.
And also, I want to thank Impastor TV for endorsing our show.
That's
On
right.
Twitter, they always say, when you do our show, we watch their show afterwards, and they retweet our stuff, and I thank you so much for doing that.
It's amazing. And you guys, also what is amazing is that this show, to even get a show, a pilot picked up and run on a network is like an amazing feat. And the fact that we have a season 2 right now is so, I just feel, and we have the cast in here,
Yes,
and I
we
just feel
did.
so happy for them.
We're like a big family.
Yeah, we are. So you guys will hopefully be seeing more of the cast, and as the cast grows too, because there's going to be season 2 of different characters and whatnot.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have them all on here for you.
Yes. You guys are welcome on, of course. You know that. Anytime.
You are. So call us.
Yes.
So let's talk about this episode.
Yes.
It had a lot going on. You know, obviously, episode 9 we were left with a shot going off. We didn't know who got shot.
We were all speculating forever. Even in the beginning of the show, we're like, it was Dora, but it only was like her hand, and so she's gonna be okay. And like
And then we were like, let's stop speculating and let's watch the episode. So we did, and we find out the killer escapes, and it's that Dora actually got out her bow and arrow.
Yes, she did.
And because she's, what was she, a prodigy?
She's called her Artress.
Artress.
Wait, now that I think about it, that archery had to come into play somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was,
wouldn't have
so
made sense
now it
otherwise.
makes sense.
There's a
that,
big storyline.
Yeah.
So we're glad that little bow is tied up. Dora's not shot.
Literal bow.
Oh, but I'll cheers to
See what we
myself.
did there?
Yes.
See what we did
Did
there?
that on purpose, all of
Yes.
us together
Yes.
as a team.
Was it
Yes.
a team effort?
Team effort. So she's not shot. She comes unscathed.
She shot someone. She
But
just Katnissed her ass.
She did. She did.
However, the person she shot got away, and so
Yes.
that person's still on the loose.
Yeah.
Buddy is now a little scared, let's be honest.
Yeah, and he thinks that, obviously Damien he's like, I need to go pack my crap.
Yes.
Right. Because if that woman didn't, or that person didn't kill Dora, they're going to be coming back, and he thinks that the killer was Damien in the first place.
Right.
So he's starting to pack all of his stuff up, and he finds in Jonathan Barlow's things a picture frame with a picture of a home and a key in the back and his passport stamped Mexico. So he's like, Jonathan Barlow, do you have a house in Mexico?
Detective work. He, in that moment, was like a chick who's been potentially cheated on and trolling through Instagram. Like, oh, who's that? Oh, you like that photo? Oh, okay. Oh. And we put 2 and 2 together. Good job, buddy.
Good job.
And I love that the gay man has a summer home somewhere in Mexico.
Yeah,
Of course he does.
Of course. You said it at the same time. You said it at the same time. Of course he does. Sure, why not?
We do that. I don't know if you've seen us the last 9 episodes, but
We talk and say the
say
same
things at the same time. You get out of here!
I love it. Oh my God, I feel twinning going on. I love it.
Meanwhile, you have the twin.
I do. So it's
He
kind of
has a twin.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I love it.
You can pick up on those vibes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, all right. So, he knows he's planning to leave, and
Yeah.
he's got to get all of his ducks in a row. He's got to get his fake passport. He's got to get out of town.
Yes.
He's got to pack his
And
bag.
he's like in a rush.
But meanwhile, back at the ranch, we see it's actually a beautifully shot scene. You see that the assassin has a bow in her chest.
Yes.
And
Right in the
there's-
heart.
Right in the heart. It's this big backdrop where Damien walks up. She's like, I'm so glad you're here. He's like, I'll take care of this. And all the birds fly off.
I love
It
that.
was,
It was
actually
beautiful.
beautifully shot.
It was beautifully shot. It was really beautiful.
Cinematically,
Thank you, that's the word.
that was very pretty.
It was gorgeosity at its finest.
Gorgina.
Gorgerific. So, also simultaneously, we do cut to our friends, the detectives.
Yes.
Matthew,
yeah.
Kevin Anderson,
Matthew.
Matthew, you got it. You got it.
Did
You said it. You said it this time.
and his friend, whose character's name is Tim, and his real name unclear. But we'll meet him hopefully next season.
Yes, hope so.
So they are on the hunt for whoever killed the real Jonathan Barlow, because they now got wind that
Yes.
somebody took all of this money out of Jonathan Barlow's account, and it must be the person that's got his cards and stole all this
Yeah, they
stuff.
pieced it together. So it's like they actually did the detective work.
Yeah,
They
they
actually
figured
did,
it out.
although they were distracted by the buffet they were
I
going
like
to.
The
food.
cheesesteaks.
I know, the food.
So yeah,
They're always eating.
So they're going to do that instead. At some point, they'll get to the crime. It'll be a great thing once it happens.
right.
So anyway, Buddy's getting this passport from Ashley,
Of
who, of
course.
course, because she's like the other con man in town. She's got everything.
She has
I
everything.
love that she's there because it just would be too like Disney special if it was just Buddy and everyone else was like so all the time.
I agree.
I like
totally
that
agree.
she's there and she's also kind of like immersing herself in the group with Alden and with Buddy, who we do see has a good heart at times.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I like she needs to be there because it's just
Right.
too goody if not.
She's a connection to his old life, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like we know she wasn't there, but she's like a connection.
She's
to it.
something that will constantly remind us of who Buddy, who is underneath
Right.
the past
Exactly.
Impastor. Yeah.
I kind of feel like Alexa does the same
Yeah.
trick, just because
For sure.
she's not really who she says she is.
Exactly.
So there's a little element of like edge going on.
I
for
agree.
sure.
I totally agree.
Not
with that.
so cheese fest like we might think there might be in
No,
Latin.
seriously. yeah.
Exactly.
So
Dora takes care of all
the
Yes, she
cheese.
does. All the cheese.
Dora and Russell.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, I just
but-
want Russell to be my best friend.
I know.
And well, right now he's Buddy's best friend because Buddy.
No, I think he wants to be a little bit more
Well,
than best friend.
Russell wants to put the key in the lock,
The lock,
and
that's
see if
right.
it fits.
That's right.
He definitely wants to see if the key. And is that ever a problem? That analogy, I think they could have done a little better.
I think it's more like a
I mean,
metaphor for the sake that like fit together, as in do well
I
together.
know, but
Okay.
like, I mean, I just was taking it literally. Like, okay, I guess unless you're like,
Also, Lauren, sometimes it doesn't fit,
It sure does sometimes.
right?
Oh.
I didn't mean to just direct it at Lauren.
okay, because I was
I
going to
know.
say if it's the
However.
other way,
Yes.
there's a problem. Like throwing a hot dog down a hallway, that's never a good thing.
I love that phrase. I love that saying.
Yeah,
But that's
some-
well,
it
yeah,
could be the more the guy's problem than the girls.
I heard for girls
Because
too, kind of.
no,
sometimes.
but because maybe never mind.
Yeah, that's another show we'll have at another time. Obviously.
Well,
That's
what
Impastor
really,
After Dark.
They really dive into some
Yeah.
like
They do, actually.
edgy subjects.
edgy
do.
subjects. Well, we'll get to some of that
Yeah,
in a
they do.
minute.
They do.
But so while Buddy's like, dealing with the fact that he's waiting for his passport, it's going to be tomorrow morning. He's got to like bide time and safely. So he knows if he stays in his own home, clearly they know where he lives. They're going to come after him one more time.
Right.
So he's got to stay elsewhere. So he goes
Yes.
first to Alexa's,
Of
and
course.
But
she had just apologized for coming on to him.
Yeah, and just to interject for a second, he also has like obligations he has to fill. Like he
Yeah.
can't
Right.
really literally just flee
Jen-
because I mean I guess he could, but he's so connected with everyone that everyone's eyes are on him. It's like he can't just get up and go. And then he does kind of feel bad because he's
Well, I think he almost gets trapped more so than
Yeah.
feeling
well,
bad.
I
but
do think that he also has a little bit of a conscience that is connected to Ladner, and that's when those
agree.
moments when you see a little bit of his heart, and it's like he could just be like, guys, I gotta go, I have a meeting somewhere, and just leave. Like he could get out
Right.
of it if he really wanted to.
'Cause
He
we
gets out
know
of
he
everything.
can. Right.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
anyway, yeah.
But yeah, so we spy Alexa. She says, "I'm sorry for coming on to you," and then he remembers like, "Well, she came on to me, and before I go, it's my last night. Might as well just go
Why
make out
not?
with her and do this thing, and then I can stay with her, and I'm scot free." He goes there, makes out with her, and then finds out she's already on that date with Dave, the handyman.
Handyman. Timing. I love classic timing issue. I love it. It is. It's like classic.
Timing is everything.
And he was kind of like, you should have a chance. You should have a chance at a happy
I like
life.
that he did that.
Yes.
I like that he wasn't, because she was like,
won.
I could cancel the date.
I know.
Right.
I was like, honey, don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't be that
Keep
girl.
it to yourself. I know we've all been there where we want to say that, but you got to just act like you got to act like you have other things happening.
Yes.
She didn't even know he was leaving the next day, so for all she knows, she could have made plans. I'm busy tonight, tomorrow night.
Yes, exactly.
She could have pulled one of those. Lord knows we all do it.
Yeah.
So anyway, he leaves and he's like, where else could I possibly stay? So he stays with Russell.
Yes.
Or he goes to Russell's, and Russell's actually mid-similar situation, face masks and all, with some random gentleman.
Or something,
I love that.
And kicks him out faster than that guy
was
could
so
even
funny.
play.
But that's so Russell. It was like,
Totes.
just bye, Felicia.
Like, he threw his clothes and off he went.
Yes. But what I liked about Russell, because for him, he's always so kind of meekish, but this whole season we've seen him grow, that he actually corners him and does this little spiel like, I want to know what's going on.
Yeah, I did like that. I like that he had a moment where he's like, you cannot play with my heart like a
Exactly.
yo-yo, where it dangles in between the two triangles.
Yeah.
Cat's Cradle. No, Rock the Cradle. Whatever. It should have been Cat's Cradle.
Get a silver spoon.
That, remember, what was
Cats
that?
in the cradle.
Like,
Silver spoon.
what was that string people did?
Blue and the man on the moon.
That's Cat Stevens. You don't know him either.
Of course I do, but I don't know the words. What's that thing called?
It was
Cat's Cradle.
Yeah,
Oh,
called Cat's
yeah.
Cradle. It was like, I mean, this
That's
may
it.
be
Right.
not a politically correct term, but I'm not going to say it. We called it something else. It was a type of jump rope. That's what we called it. But it was not.
A tiny person's jump
No,
rope?
forget it.
Oh, okay.
It was something else. But now that I'm thinking about it as an 8-year-old, and I was told that that's what the game was called, it's not politically correct.
Oh, dang. Well, I love that.
I mean, I've never liked anything politically correct, but
me neither,
stop
okay.
while you're ahead, I
Yes,
suppose.
exactly. The fans out
It's
there are
not
crazy.
like connected to this.
Okay, got it.
Okay, we can't offend anybody that's not part of the
No,
show.
that's what I
seriously.
was told it was called. So
Well, great. So
But
it's
yeah,
called
it was
Rock
like-
the Cradle.
yeah.
Yes.
We'll talk about that after.
Yeah, no.
So, Buddy stays at Russell's, sleeps on the couch. It's a whole thing. Wakes up the next day.
Now, mind you, have to remember, because he said all the different things he had to do. He had to counsel Alden's daughter,
that's
Lisa.
Right, exactly.
And so
And
they're
Gunter.
like, and Gunter.
Gunter.
And he said you should have sex. They were having sex. So when he gets back the next morning, where you pick up, he's like, Alden's like, you got to talk to Lisa.
Like, we have to
Now.
have this meeting now. He's trying to get out of Dodge.
Yeah, he's trying to
and
leave.
he's been stopped again. He needs to go in and have
Yeah.
this meeting because she's done the sex.
Yeah,
and
it wasn't
he
good.
Was not good.
And Alden is now like, it's not what you think. You think Alden would be like, I can't believe you even told her to do that, which it kind of started that way, but now it was
Yeah.
like, you have to tell her it gets better because
doesn't.
first
Sometimes it
times-
does.
The first time you have sex with
It
someone?
can be a little awkward. You know, you're right. I mean, no, okay. Awkward versus bad. Like,
Yeah.
okay versus bad.
That's true.
Okay, like there's so many things to define bad. Like maybe some parts are small and some are big.
Well, I mean,
Maybe
what's
your chemistry isn't good.
What's that?
Maybe you go too slow and you go too
The
fast.
speed of things is
He doesn't
totally
say.
off.
Yes.
Maybe one person's very drunk and one person's very sober.
Maybe you say a lot of things that you should keep to yourself.
Maybe sometimes the result happens a little quicker than you might hope.
Maybe the result never happens, and that's also a problem.
Ooh, that's a problem.
Maybe you're friends, and then you're crossing a boundary, and then it's weird. Or we
Or
could just keep
maybe
going.
Well, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of maybes.
that's what we see, and we don't know what happened between
No, we
Lisa and
don't.
Gunter, specifically why it didn't work
Yeah.
out. But we do know when
Right,
she.
it can't get better on some level. It can't.
It
sometimes.
could.
It's
Yeah.
always better the second time. That's why when you make sex with someone, you have to especially if it's just like, oh, let's do this and just have fun, then you have to like make sure that you're like, hey, by the way, let's do this again because it was the
Okay.
first time.
You gotta tip them off.
You gotta say like, it was just
Overtly.
the first time. Don't judge me. I had a little too much to drink, and we
Or I
need
didn't
to-
have anything to drink, so I was super awkward, and it'll get better. I
There's a
promise.
fine line between sober and totally drunk. You gotta
Yeah,
get
there
like
is.
right there
Oh, there
where you're
is.
like,
You gotta
I'm
match.
fun, but you're
Oh,
not.
I've apologized in advance sometimes. Yeah, when I was too drunk. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, kids. It's basically
Hey,
this.
you know what
lay
you're
out.
There's another thing that we haven't talked about. The fact is, sometimes you could be too drunk and not remember if it was bad the first time, so you have to do a second time to make sure you
Yeah,
knew
because
what the
it's
first time was like.
patchy.
That happened once.
It's patchy.
It's patchy or blacked out altogether. We don't know, guys, but you know what? I bet we can all find out. We will find out. So,
But we think we know why Gunter and Lisa didn't really mesh well. It's because she says that he doesn't make her heart go pitter patter.
right, and he doesn't really make her feel special.
Real. Let's be real. We've all made sex with guys that makes our heart go pitter patter, and then when we look back on it, we're like, why were we so into the sex with this person? And it was because our hearts were only going pitter pattering.
So true.
And then you're really like, it just all wasn't that great.
No, the whole experience, you just look back and you're like, wow.
Like, why did you? Like
true.
all of the things you did were not that good.
But you know what will make that better? Moe and Shandong.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. In other news. So they decide they're not going to get married. Well, Lisa decides. More power to you, Lisa. You made that decision
She
quite
was
quick.
like, you know what?
Skedaddle.
Life's too short, and you could see that that's not what Alden wanted.
No.
But because it kind of connected with him and Hilva, he sort of let her. You know, he looked at his daughter and was like, "Wait, this is actually right. Like, we can't let the religion thing take over here. This is what she wants." And guess what? I get it.
Yeah,
he was
did get it.
compassionate to her.
I get it too, but that's what he was saying.
Exactly. You do get it. I get it.
But the thing
you
is,
get it.
I get it. But the thing is, it was because of Buddy's speech.
Right, exactly.
That's
So
right.
Buddy,
Really, actually,
the preacher is actually helping the people.
Once again, he helped.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hand that over here.
Yes.
I mean, if anybody
hither.
noticed that James has a goblet,
I know it's the
We
thing
gave
to
him
me.
the special one
because he's the king of our hearts.
That's right.
So guys, let's get right back on track. So Buddy now it's the next day we find out the whole thing about Lisa and Gunter splitting up. There's a council meeting that's happening now.
Yes.
So apparently, they're saying that there's Lutheran haters because this
he
this
thinks
killer
that's a hate crime,
is going after only the pastor, Dora, and that woman that's part of the congregation.
Right.
Is that what you call them? Congregation?
Congregation, yeah.
And she's what was she, the seamstress?
The seamstress of the people.
The town seamstress of Ladner.
Right. So, obviously Alden is like, we need to stand strong and we need a symbol of our strength. So Dora Rambo becomes his idea of an icon.
Or Dora Conquistadora,
Conquistadora, which I think is way better.
I think it's actually better too than
Way
Dora
better.
Rambo. Yeah.
So they decide she should stand outside the church during
Does
the
anybody
service.
know what Rambo's first name was?
John.
Donnie.
John Rambo. It is. It's John
Donnie.
That's
Rambo.
boring.
Donnie Rambo.
Donnie Rambo. I like that.
What? Hey, everyone. Mark Rambo has just entered
Yeah, right.
the building.
First of all, Donnie sounds Italian. Sylvester
Rambo.
Stallone's Italian. Rambo could be any sort of person.
Oh my God, I love it.
Maybe an Italian.
Donnie does not sound Italian.
I'm not completely
Donnie
off.
sounds like Irish or something.
Yeah.
No, it
She's
doesn't.
Anyway,
Italian. She
John
knows.
Rambo
Oh, what do you
is
do
his
now?
name.
Anyway, John doesn't sound anything. So Dora is supposed to come to the service with her Rambo outfit
I know.
and her just stand outside with a bow and arrow and be herself.
She's like, I can't.
She's like, no, I don't want to be this person. I want to be me, which
Because
means
they're
all
all
this.
celebrating her. She goes to get coffee, and everyone throws her like a damn parade to get her coffee.
Damn.
And she realizes that she's just not damn into it.
And Buddy, once again, while she's helping him get dressed for the service, he gives another great speech.
So good. What was that again?
Well, he says,
It was so good
"You
that
already
we forgot.
No, I remember.
No, we're kidding.
You really do.
I remember because he says, "You were always a hero before this even happened."
Yeah. He always saw her as a hero.
Exactly.
He really, I'm telling you, you get to see little snippets of his heart.
I love
Yes.
it.
There
You
is
do.
a heart in
No,
there,
there is a
Michael
heart in there.
Rosenbaum.
Call us. But it's nice
Hold me.
because she does say to him, this town was sleepy before you got here, and you did something to us. And I think it tugs on his heartstrings. And
It does.
also, it shows he's doing a good job because he couldn't possibly continue on as he is if he's not
know.
doing somewhat of a good job.
True dat.
True that. So deep down inside of his con man heart, there is some, I don't know.
There's some
Information.
warmth. There's
warmth in
some
there.
warmth.
There is. He's warming up. He's
support.
really warm to them because he says later, of course, in his sermon, "You guys are like my family."
Yeah.
I think he really actually means that on
does
some
mean
level.
that.
On some level.
Because
Thanks.
like I said in the beginning of this after show,
Yes.
he can get out of anything he wants. He could
Everything.
definitely just steal this dude's money and leave. But
Yeah.
you know what? He stays and he helps people. He doesn't have to do the things that he does.
No.
He does.
But so while he's doing the things that he does in the service,
All of the things.
he sees Damien in the
Walks in.
back.
By the way,
hot, isn't he? I'm
I
like,
mean-
oh, who's the actor? I'm like, hello.
Who's the hot black guy?
I know, I was
Definitely
like-
call me.
We'll have you on season 2.
Season 2.
friend.
I'll have
Right
you
here.
on season 2.
Yeah,
Also, hey, whatever your name is,
I know. We
Damien,
got to look at his name and see if he's on Twitter.
call me.
She's not even shy about it.
Yes, you know, I endorse
You
this
know
my
message.
type.
You don't even have to
I
swipe
endorse this
right.
message,
You don't
right
even
here.
have to swipe right. You just have to show up at our interview, and we
Double
will
tap.
we will set you guys up. So anyway, we'll save that relationship for predictions.
Yes, exactly.
So he spots Damien in the back, and he's like, "Oh crap, he found me here too. I
And
gotta
we
get
know
out of
he's
here."
going to get out of
Yeah,
there
get out
by
of it.
running. And
Yes.
what does he do?
Bolting.
Well, not only does he bolt, he makes them start a song.
Yes.
He pretends he's got to go to the bathroom, and they're gonna play until he gets back, which is
And
never.
everyone needs to do a group hug.
Group hug because everyone loves each other. He just gave that whole speech about being family and yada yada. So he takes off. He of course jumps over the
course.
stairway thing because he's so physical and
I
does the
love it.
things.
I
and
love
it's
when that happens.
So funny. And then he bolts off in his car. He's got to get his new fake passport. He's got to get his go bag, which we still don't get why you didn't have the go bag in the car.
Right, yeah. I think
Hello.
that-
Amateur mistake.
Amateur move, buddy.
I've had to leave fast in places sometimes. So, yeah. A few times.
James knows. Call
Maybe I
James.
should have a bag packed somewhere.
I thought about
supposed
having
to.
a go bag. Also for possible random sleepovers you never know you might have.
No, seriously, this is a little too much information, but my mother and I are close in age, and when she was single after my father left, I taught her how to do an overnight bag. When she was dating.
Stop.
When she was dating.
See, look what you could have if you have a son like James.
Like me.
Or James is also a grandfather. You've
Yes,
got, you
I
got
am.
to teach those grandkids some thing or two.
I do exactly.
a
I'm
thing
ready.
or two about a thing or two.
About a thing or two, that's right.
About a go bag for sure.
Some instructions on that.
So
I can teach you.
that'll be for another show.
Another show.
So Buddy is on his way into the house to grab the things, and of course we're all on pins and needles because we're like, oh my god,
He's
Damien's gonna
running
show
and we know
up.
people are
Because
chasing
Damien
him.
is rushing to
Right.
get in the car.
And he's tailing him.
He's tailing him. He gets the passport. He's upstairs trying to grab that bag.
Throws on the leather jacket because duh.
Of course.
And then
Can't go anywhere without your leathers.
No.
so then he gets to the door to take off, and while we think we're gonna see Damien,
Right.
who do we see, James?
Our buddy's the detective.
Matthew Kevin Anderson.
You said it right. And the other guy.
She's just gonna
And
keep
then
doing it to
Tim.
prove it.
We got to get his name. We got to get his name because he's hilarious.
Real
And they
funny
were
guy.
like, you're under arrest for the murder of
Jonathan Barlow.
So
and
they
then
know.
season
End.
end.
So I think now would be an excellent time to talk about our predictions for season 2.
Yes,
Let's do it.
predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV
No lights.
prediction.
I mean,
Down
what
to the bare
else?
bones here, you guys. I have a prediction.
Go,
that
Laura
I'm going
Annelly.
to go on a date with Damien.
I'm gonna cheer to yours.
I am. I think you should. You should.
I think
girl.
all the people watching should cheer.
Somebody tweet that person.
Yeah, we got to find out who he is.
Find
Seems very tall.
Make a
and-
connection on the twits. Make it between at Lauren Leonelli
Yes,
and
Emily.
at guy who plays Damien.
Yes, on the tweeting machine.
Miscellaneous
you.
person who's real attractive in Lauren's eyes.
Yes.
Call her.
Thank you,
She's a
and you're
catch.
welcome.
She's a total catch.
James.
Get her.
James.
That's so nice.
True.
James, you're leaving me out.
You're a catch too, but we're talking about the black man right now for her.
Yeah, and you know how.
Who are we gonna set me up with from the cast?
Well,
Let's predict.
We already. I'm not gonna say
Oh,
anything.
what?
I forgot about that. Okay, cool. We'll move right on from that.
I know the predictions, but here's one thing I want to say about this whole series
Yes.
that's really interesting. And I think this could be a prediction for next season. It's a comedy series, yet it's almost disguised as a drama.
Because there's dark moments.
Yes.
Dark. The darkest.
There's action.
Action.
There's drama. There's suspense. But there's comedy.
And
sex.
comedy.
All the same, and sex.
Why
All-
aren't you repeating? You
I know,
messed it
you're
all
doing
up.
it
Because
fine.
I got confused and I went on a tangent.
I agree. I like that it's so dimensional. I think a real prediction, besides the real prediction of me and Damien dating, is that I think that Alexis and Buddy
Alexa.
Alexa. God, I know you guys. You know I don't do that.
Somebody
thing.
should zap her every time.
Anyway, if you did that, I'd probably learn.
Pavlov at its finest.
Totally.
It's play Genuine Pony and see what happens. It's Pavlovian. Anyway, I think that they're gonna kind of like cross paths because they're gonna need each other really
Yes.
bad.
We've been hoping for this.
And they're gonna have like a real romantic moment.
I'm gonna say that I think that he's going to get out of the situation of being arrested, kind of in the way that he was almost brought in to the police to say that he saw somebody drowning somebody in the water, because Damien is going to show up at the house and he's going to maybe possibly try and shoot the detectives who are just kind of in suits, and maybe like they're going to take him away, or he's going to shoot one of them. Buddy's going to get away, but he's going to come back because he's got to save the people of the town.
I'm confused.
I got it so far. I got it.
Basically, there's going to be a distraction and a switch of events.
Okay.
Well, my prediction is on the lines that almost that the detectives are actually going to help Buddy with Damien.
Right, he's gonna find out, figure out how to use them to help.
And he might say, no, I'm not Buddy Dobbs, Damien's Buddy Dobbs.
Although he looks nothing like Buddy Dobbs.
I can see him switching
Do they
around.
know what Buddy Dobbs looks like?
Yeah, they have to.
They have the picture of him in a hoodie in the beginning. They're like, have you seen this guy?
He's
but I think with you guys, I agree with you. Something's going to happen where they're going to end up working with him somehow.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
For sure.
Against Damien.
For sure.
Gonna happen
For sure.
Yeah.
It's going to work in his
For
favor
sure.
somehow. Yeah.
So I think maybe a little play of Sir Jesus might come into play here, because he's going to save everyone's from getting out of trouble.
Right.
So should we talk about some news and gossip?
Yeah, we should. Speaking of Jesus,
Yes.
let's talk about some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Guys, I have some celebrity news and gossip.
Tell us about it.
Tell us.
It's
Who's
about-
famous? What?
It's about Jesus H. Christ.
Who's the H?
Who's the H?
You heard it here first. Now, I am just going to report, for those of you who do not know, what the H stands for. I've always wondered.
Me too.
And
I
think
certainly
you
didn't, and
are
I'm
all
Jewish.
wondering too. I always say Jesus H. Christ. I have no idea. So, according to Urban Dictionary, which is where I look up all of my biblical knowledge.
Oh, of course.
It's the dictionary of dictionaries.
Of Urban.
There's a couple reasons why they think people use the H. H could stand for haploid, since Jesus has no human father.
Oh, how
Haploid
funny.
is, I guess, what would happen.
Is that called a bastard?
No, a haploid. It's a human father. He has a father, but he's not a human.
He's God.
He's a spirit.
That's the thing, a haploid. Sounds like an
Apparently it is.
alien.
Right,
All right,
it does.
well, anyway. H could also be part of the IHS logo. That's you see it all over like Christian
him?
paraphernalia. It's like embroidered and bezeled
It also
on
stands
things.
for my high school, Inglewood High School.
Okay, but that's not what that meant.
No, it doesn't.
Or the H could also be from the Latin inscription on the cross. It was supposedly put there by the Roman soldiers. INRH. So they think that it could come from that too.
Okay.
So if you're wondering where the H came from in Jesus H. Christ, that's where it came from.
Not holy?
And sometimes the people say holy because he is holy, but it's more of these other things that actually have technical
What
things.
about
to look
Jesus
at.
Heavenly Christ?
Or
That's
Harold?
pretty.
What about
Or
Harold?
Well, my
Jesus-
middle name Harrison. Jesus Harrison.
Jesus
Christ.
Harrison Christ.
Or happy, because everything's happy.
Aw.
Anyway, in case you were wondering, that's what the H stands for. Any of those potential things.
I'm gonna
Jesus
go with
H. Christ.
haploid.
I'm going to go with haploid. I like haploid. It's
Oh,
the
me
easiest one
too.
to remember.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's super weird, so I'm going to stick with
Okay.
that.
All right, haploid.
Haploid,
So
haploid.
guys, cheers to an amazing season.
Yes,
You
you
guys,
guys.
cheers to AfterBuzz TV Studios,
Yes.
because you guys, this is the last time you
Yes.
will see us in this studio.
Exactly.
Wave goodbye.
Exactly.
Jen and I have been hosting here for like 3 years.
A million, probably 4.
And
So many of them.
This is kind of like a nice moment to celebrate
Yeah.
with champagne. But this is our
Yay.
last show
In this
studio. That's so exciting.
So
Thank
exciting.
you, Maria and Kevin and Phil and Marissa and Steven and everyone here. It's
And
like
everyone.
an Oscar speech.
It
We
is.
had so much fun. We can't wait to move to the new studios.
Yes.
Make sure you
Yay.
guys keep watching AfterBuzz TV.
Yes.
And stay in touch with us in the off season between now
Yes,
and the
yes,
next
definitely.
Impastor season 2. How can people find you, Lauren?
People, you can find me at Lauren Leonelli on Twitter, Facebook, Vine, Instagram, and my website.
James L. Jr. Excuse me. Black Hope LA on Twitter. James L. Jr. on Facebook. My new show, The GH Report, debuts on AfterBuzz TV in the new studios on September 27th. I brought it to the network. I'm so excited at 5:30 p.m. And my radio show every Friday morning on AdrenalineRadio.com.
Amazing. And you can follow me and Lauren at our new radio show called, it's at Complicated Show, because the radio show is called It's Complicated, and we're going to be talking about dating advice, being single, being in relationships, and what the hell goes wrong with all the things you're doing.
On LA Talk Radio, make
I
sure
have
you
to be
follow
on.
us there.
You have to have me on.
Of course, you'll be a
on.
guest at Complicated Show. I'm your host, Jennifer Golden, and we thank you so much for joining us every single week for Impastor, and we will see you season 2.
Season 2! Season 2!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.